are live. I'm here in our new Ranger video studio. It's coming together. We had a little hiccup with our technology setup, but I think we're good now. I'm going to be looking at your comments. Let me pull that up. Oh, here I am. We are live. Comment, share and comment, and you'll be entered in to win our raffle. I'll be giving away a Perfect Pearls giveaway. Thank you all for tuning in. Today I'm going to share with you everything you need to know about Perfect Pearls. Let's see, do we have any joiners and comments? Oh, yeah, I don't want to hear myself. Share and comment, and you'll be entered in to win our raffle. I'll be giving away a Perfect Pearls giveaway. Thank you all for tuning in. Okay. So Patty's here. She's my assistant, so that she's gonna come say hi.
Hi everyone.
So she's gonna turn the sound off so I can see your comments and see who's tuning in. But I'm here today to share with you everything you need to know about Perfect Pearls. And as you know, we've recently launched at Creativation 4 new colors, and people have been asking me, when are you going to launch new colors of Perfect Pearls? Well, we did. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch my camera so that you guys can see these. Okay, so 4 new colors. We have Iris, Poppy, Blue Hydrangea, and Zinnia. And check those out. Really beautiful colors. And what are Perfect Pearls? So if you are new to Perfect Pearls, or maybe they're in your craft room and you have no idea what to do with them, I hear that a lot. People kind of stash them away and then they're like, oh my gosh, I forgot about Perfect Pearls. Well, Perfect Pearls are a pearlescent pigment powder. They create gorgeous iridescent effects on paper. And I'm gonna hold, this is like backwards for me, so it takes me a minute to get used to the camera view. I may not be able to see. So a loose powder, you can see that in there, and they just create dazzling pearlescent effects. Now, the good thing about our Perfect Pearls is that they have a built-in resin. So once you put them on, they actually will adhere to your paper without having to seal them after or anything like that. And they come in 26 different colors. So here they are in our nice little storage. And we actually like to store ours right here in the Distress Crayon tin, but they fit nicely in there, 24 different colors. So that is available in the line, as well as some accessories. And Patty's still working on getting me my comments, so bear with me. But I'm going to keep going and sharing with you the Perfect Pearls line. So in order to stamp with the Perfect Pearls, we do have a perfect medium, and they come in a standard ink pad size as well as a mini. And this is actually, it's not an actual ink, it's actually it's a medium, and it's a very wet and sticky medium, and that's what allows gives the Perfect Pearls something to stick to. So as you can see here, this is the perfect medium, and it's really not an ink, it is a medium, almost like a glue. And the perfect medium also comes in some pens. So we have 2 perfect medium pens, a brush tip and a bullet tip pen, and these are great for doing your own doodles and lettering and then using with the Perfect Pearls. They have the same exact medium that is in the ink pads, are also in these pens. Oh yay, there I am. Okay, we got it working, so I can see your colors and your questions. It's not the same as embossing ink. It's a much where the embossing ink is an actual ink, this is actually a medium. It's much more thick and sticky. So it is completely different than an embossing ink. If you have any questions, just comment them and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. And also I just want to mention, make sure you share the video, comment below that you've shared it, and I will do a drawing to receive a little Perfect Pearls assortment. So in addition to the mediums that, the perfect medium that is in the pads, we also have them in the pens. Again, great for doodling, drawing, anything of that nature. We also have brushes because you can paint with these. You can use them wet or dry, so you can paint with them. We have a fine tip brush, which is great for detail, for painting, and I'm going to show you a bunch of techniques today, as well as a dusting brush. So this guy is fluffy and it's great for dusting off the excess pearls. We also sell Perfect Pearls in our Letter It collection. And in the Letter It collection, you get 2 pearls in a kit with your little mini dusting brush and a mini ink pad here. So that is the in the Letter It. And then if you were to shop a national chain store, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, you may see a large set which comes with 4 powders and 2 brushes and the mini pad. And actually I will show you guys what those look like. So if you see in the corner there, that is what you may see in the store, a carded set, or of course they are available open stock as well. Lost my train of thought here. So this is pretty much the assortment and accessories that it is in the Perfect Pearl range. I should also mention that we do have Letter It, we call them Letter It medium pens, because you can use these for both embossing and liquid and Perfect Pearls, and they come in 4 different tips. So there's 2 sets of 2 pens, and there's a broad tip, a fine tip, a brush tip, and a bullet tip. And you can also letter with these and use the Perfect Pearls or embossing on top. If your perfect medium dries out and it's not, is there a way to bring it back? We have a re-inker. We do carry a perfect medium re-inker, so you can re-ink your pad. You brought yours a few years ago and you love them. That's great, Christine. Hello everyone. Shared in your mixed media mad group. Great, thank you so much. So Perfect Pearls, again, yeah, one of those products where I feel like we've kind of, we forget about them, or we kind of put them away, and then when we bring them out, we remember how awesome they are. So I'm gonna just make some space on my work surface, and I think we'll get into some techniques, everything that you can do with Perfect Pearls. And these are great for incorporating both in card making as well as mixed media. And as you know, pearlescent and shimmer is just so hot right now. So share to your timeline. Has there been a demo? Not yet. I'm about to start the demo right now, and I'm going to share with you a few techniques using the pearls. And I have my silicone mat actually down on my work surface today, and I'm going to be working on there. I also have a craft sheet. So the first technique I'm going to share with you is my is stamping. So that's really a basic the basic technique to use with Perfect Pearls. And Perfect Pearls always work great when you're working on a dark surface. They look the best there because the pearlescent powder really shines and sparkles on the dark surface. It just makes the colors pop. So I have a black card panel here. And I'm gonna go, and I'm actually gonna use one of the new Simon Hurley stamps. Turn this around for you. This is the Simon Hurley background stamp called Watercolor Blooms, and I thought it would look really pretty with Perfect Pearls on it. So any kind of stamp would work. I'm gonna go ahead and ink my stamp nice and liberally with the Perfect Medium. You've never used them before. Looking forward to seeing how they work. Oh, that's great. Thanks for joining, Deborah. And so, yeah, I think a lot of the confusion with Perfect Pearls is that they think that, you know, people tend to think that they need something to seal them with, that they're going to rub off. But because they have that built-in binder right in them, and adhere to your paper. And I'll show you some setting techniques. We do like to just give them a little spritz of water will help set it, because that water will activate that binder. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this over my surface, and I'm just gonna give it a good press. Yes, Simon and Karen were playing with Perfect Pearls the other day. Can you use Perfect Medium on clear stamps? Yep, they work on clear stamps, they work on red rubber, any of your stamps, the Perfect Medium will work on. Okay, I'm just making sure I get a nice good impression here, pressing it down. And then we're gonna just lift that up. Great, okay. So then what I'm gonna do, and I think I'm just gonna open a couple of jars of the new colors. And you can do one color, you can do multiple colors. It's really all up to you. So I'm gonna do some of the new colors here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the dusting brush for this technique. It's the fluffier brush here, and just a little goes a long way. What I like to do is dip into my jar and then just kind of like tap off into the lid, and that's the blue lid. Oops, let me get my lids in order. But almost like using that as like a little palette. And then in just a swirly motion, I just apply that beautiful powder to the background. And you do have a little bit of working time because the medium is so kind of thick. It doesn't dry quite as quickly as, say, an embossing ink would. And so I'm just going to continue applying colors until I cover my background. And the pretty thing about these powders is that depending on how you hold them, they look, they're very reflective, so they look very different in different lights. So I'm just making sure my entire background is covered. Left the red for the top. Oops, that was a lot. That's okay. Oh, look, that made a really pretty color actually. So once it's all covered, then what you can do is I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper, and I'm actually gonna, you can do this over your garbage can or anything like that. I'm gonna just put a scrap paper down, and I am going to take my dusting brush, tap off some excess, and then just gently brush off the excess powder. And you see, because you have that nice sticky perfect medium down and that built-in binder of the powders, you don't have to worry about them smudging. So look how beautiful that is. And that would make a really simple, easy card. It is, first option she is showing the medium with glue. Yes, the medium will glue the perfect pearl to it. Yes, absolutely. Does the perfect pearl medium have to be used? So if you're using the powders dry, just as I did here, you need to use the medium. If you are painting with them, you do not need to use the medium, and I will show some techniques using that as well. So, and then what I like to do is once we have our background, we just gently spray it with water. Now you do not want to drench this. You don't want to aim the sprayer right onto your, so close to your background, because that may ruin it. You want a very light misting. So you almost want to just wave it and just spray and wave it and then set it off to dry. So that's all you need to set these. So I'm going to set this aside. That is technique number 1, which is stamping with perfect pearls. And look how beautiful that is. I love that. I'm going to make that into a card when we're done here. So I'm going to just put that aside. What is the background? Okay, so the background was a new Simon Hurley stamp called Watercolor Blooms. It is a new background stamp. It is a clean rubber stamp. Let me turn that around, sorry. Clean, can you see it? Yeah, there we go. Clean rubber stamp, and it is Simon Hurley Create line. What finish do you use to protect the colors? So you don't have to do a finish, you just simply mist it with a very light water. Since our pearls have a built-in binder in them, there's no need to seal them. Why the water? So the water helps to activate the binder, so it attaches to activate the binder so it adheres to the paper. Okay, so the next technique I'm going to show you is a quick one. I think we'll do applying the perfect pearls through a stencil. So that is another dry technique. I'm going to use another piece of black cardstock, and I went ahead and I used, I'm going to use this Letter It stencil, and now of course I'm blanking on the name, Puzzled something. I'll post all the products I use in the links below. But I'm completely blanking on the name right now, but it is a Letter It stencil, and I liked the geometric pattern. I thought that would look really pretty with some of the metallic colors of pearls. So I'm actually gonna close up these new colors. And how I'm going to apply this to the stencil is I'm gonna actually use my medium pen so that I can trace through the stencil. And I may not do the whole thing, just so you guys get the idea of the effect. So I'm gonna pull out some of our metallic shades, like gold. Actually, I'll do perfect gold. I'll do perfect bronze, and maybe I'll do the silver too. Do you have to use dark paper? No, you do not have to use dark paper. They will show, hi Sharon. They will show up on light paper, and I will show you a technique on light paper coming up. But the dark paper just really makes the pearls pop. Okay, so I'm gonna just start tracing this using the Perfect Medium pen. And this is great because you could just go right in here and just start filling in the designs. You don't have to fill it in. You could just outline it, and that would work too. But I'm just gonna start doing this. And while I'm doing this, I just wanna mention that if you are just catching just a part of this or not able to tune in, not able to watch the whole thing, we will be posting the replay, and you can catch it at any time. This video will be up and available. So no need to worry. Love the stencil. Oh, thank you. All right, so I'm just kind of filling in maybe just like a corner of this stencil, because, you know, we don't have fast forward on live. So you get the idea how the pens just allow you to kind of trace right in those openings. I think I got that one. Maybe I'll just drag it down just a little bit here. Okay, if you didn't use the medium and you're using the powders dry, they will not stick. If you use water to apply the powders, then they will stick. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with some of these metallic colors. Let's start with some gold. I think I'm gonna do kind of a gradient. Somebody said lost the video. I don't know, it looks like, are we still recording? It says it's recording. Well, our connection in this room was not good starting off. I will be honest with everyone. If you are still viewing, just drop me some hearts. Oh, I watched someone add water to them and paint with it. It was gorgeous. Yeah, so there we go. I just did kind of a gradient, and I'm going to do just those same exact techniques that I did with stamping. I'm just going to brush it off, and look at those gorgeous, flip back this way, metallic colors. Really pretty. Flip it back around so you can see different angles. And then the same thing, just give it a quick spritz with water in the air, wave it around a little bit, and that's all you need to do. And then you can just set that aside. You're still live. Oh, thank you. See, I love all the hearts. I just wanted hearts. That was just a ploy for hearts. Okay, so moving on to the next technique. You didn't know there were metallics. Yeah, so we have some great metallic colors, some perfect gold and pewter. There's copper. There's lots of different color options, and they're just all that beautiful pearlescent shimmer, so really pretty. You don't need to use a different brush between colors. I don't. I don't really have a problem with them really mixing too much. I think if I was painting, I might switch off a little bit, but I never had a problem just dipping right in, and it doesn't contaminate your powder either. Not a problem. Not a problem. It does not really transfer. Okay, the next technique that I am going to show is, I have a few in mind, so I'm thinking what order. I'm going to do a quick hand lettering. So this is a technique, and I do have some samples, and that our graphic designer Taylor, who she is the letterette, the person behind hand lettering the letterette stamps. I've talked about her a few times before. She has amazing lettering skills, and she actually hand lettered these in perfect pearls, and then she has a technique where she letters in the pearls and traces it with our opaque white pen, and it just really makes it pop. And I just think these make great for sentiments or gift tags, anything like that. Can you press the perfect medium into the stencil instead of using the pen? You could try it, but you may not get like a complete impression by doing that. You may like skip some areas. So I find the pen kind of works better, and you also get that kind of relaxation of doodling with the pen. Okay, so I thought I'd just show you how to achieve this look. Whether you're a hand letterer or not, that look could definitely be achieved. So I have some tags here, and get that. I also have some letterette stamps. So this is our thanks set. It's one of our most popular, and I'm going to show you how to achieve the hand lettered look that Taylor did without having the amazing skills that she has. So I'm going to just go ahead and use the thanks stamp. I'll put it on a stamping block. I'm going to take my perfect medium. I'm going to ink my stamp. We do not use Versamark. We actually have a medium that we manufacture just for perfect pearls called Perfect Medium, and that is what we use before applying the pearls. So I'm just gonna stamp that down, and then just in the same manner as before, I'm going to take my fluffy brush, dip into my powders, and apply this to my stamped image. And just like Taylor, because they're in Taylor's handwriting, you can achieve that same exact look. did not have a good stamping over there, but we're gonna kind of cover that up. You can use a medium pad to dab in an area or paint on the colors with water. Yes, you can paint through the stencil. Hey Wendy, thanks for tuning in. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here. Just set this with a little bit of water, let that dry a second. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with our Ranger Opaque white pen, and the Opaque white pen is a gel pen, and I have some techniques of just quick pointers of how to get that nice white outline. I'll turn my tag around here. So the trick is that, and Taylor just taught me this a few minutes ago, small, slow movements so that you really allow that ball to roll and push the ink. If you, and I'm just going to show you down here, if you just do it quick, that's when the ink starts skipping because it doesn't have enough, the ball isn't really rolling, having a chance to roll and pull and push the ink through the tip. So you want to just, when working with the white pen, take your time and just do small movements. So I'm not gonna do this whole thing because it'll take a long time, but that is how a quick way to achieve this look with perfect pearls. Great for tags, great for hand lettering. Why do you spray it with water? The water just helps to activate the built-in binder so that it sets to the paper. It is not required, but it is recommended. Another thing that you can do, and this is how Taylor achieves this, is painting with the pearls. And I'm gonna go ahead and take my scrap paper away here and put a pen. And I am not a hand letterer, so bear with me. And I am just going to, what I like to do is use a water brush. You can use any fine tip brush as well. Either would work. If you are going to use a fine tip brush, you just need to use a little water, and I do have a water cup. So I'll pull that out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work right on my silicone mat here, and the pen is, oh, here they are. I'm just going to get a wipe so I can wipe this up. Okay, just wanna have a clean area because I'm gonna use this as a palette, and of course I'm on a white surface so I could really see my colors. And what you wanna do is just, when you go to paint with them, just tap out a little bit of a powder, and using your water brush, you're going to get some water flowing, and you're just gonna tap right into those perfect pearls. And then once you do that, you can go ahead and, I have some like fuzz on this tag. I don't know what that is. Let's do it this way. Okay. You can just go ahead and paint with them. So you want to use the water. It works great with a water brush. I'm just gonna do my initials. If you have hand lettering abilities like Taylor, this is a great way to do it, and you don't need to use the medium for this technique. You don't need to spray it with water. You just let it dry and it'll adhere. You can also go in with any kind of fine brush, and you're just gonna, wet your brush. You can kind of mix on your silicone mat here, and then the same thing applies. A little more water. Actually, I have a pipette too, because I thought that could just pipette out a little bit of water, mix your powder in there, and then just go ahead and brush. So if you had lettering abilities, you could easily do this method. Perfect pearls are awesome. Yes, they are, and they have so many uses. Okay, so I'm gonna put that aside. So that is the other technique that I had, hand lettering with perfect pearls. Yeah, get that up. I perfect mediumed the silicone. Okay, so the next technique I have is painting through with an embossed image. So this is great for card making, and it's very relaxing. I'm gonna clean this brush off in here. So push these aside. So I'm actually, for this, I'm gonna use a white, this is our watercolor surface. I'm gonna use it on the smooth side, and I'm gonna get a sheet of just scrap paper. And for this, I'm going to use the Simon Hurley Flower Picking Friends stamp set, this way. And I'm gonna just pick a flower. I'm gonna go with the sunflower. Jeez, Kelly. Okay, and actually, I'm gonna actually do kind of like a 2 at once, just so you can see it on black, and then you can see it on the white. I didn't grab a block that's quite big enough, but that's okay. I don't need to do the whole image. So this time, because I'm actually going to emboss this image first before coloring it in with the pearls, so you can go ahead and go in with your embossing ink. And we're just gonna stamp this down on our black. Oh, Tabitha, I'm glad you're enjoying the video. Okay, and then I'm going to, okay, so I'm gonna actually emboss this in clear embossing powder. Sprinkling it over my image. And then I'm gonna just brush off any of that excess. Okay, so I'm gonna put that aside so that I can heat that in a second. I'm going to return my clear embossing powder into the jar. Always thought perfect pearls were metallic. Well, they're more of a pearlescent, iridescent, I would say, but they do come in metallic colors. So I guess it depends what your definition of metallic is, because I think they could be described that way. But when we're talking about the metallics, I'm talking about the gold and the bronze and copper. Okay, and then next I'm gonna go ahead with, on the white surface, and I'm gonna just do the same exact thing. Ink my stamp. Stamp that down. Okay, and then I'm just reminding anybody who is just tuning in that if you share the video and comment shared onto the feed, that you will be entered in for a chance to win a giveaway, Perfect Pearls giveaway. And I should have stamped this in our gray embossing ink, and then I would have been able to see what I'm embossing, but that's okay. just clean this up. Am I on camera? I realize I have a tendency to work very close to me and not out. I need, all right, well, just trying to get some of the, it wasn't the best embossing stint, but that's okay. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna put that aside and I will heat that in a minute. Oh, I see a lot of shares. That's good. You still have your powder for many years ago. Yeah, they do last a really long time. So once you make the investment in a color, you should have it for a while, which is great. Okay, so now I'm just gonna heat these cards. Try not to burn myself. Recently discovered Perfect Pearls. Yes, they're so much fun. And just want to make sure that I'm not burning the paper. Right, that one looks pretty good. I'm gonna go over here. And then the clear embossing is really cool because you'll see it transform. There we go. I'm gonna melt that one area. I think it's over melted. It's okay. So what we're gonna do is, now that we have our stamps stamped and embossed, you can go ahead now and color them. And what will happen is that the embossed area will kind of resist the pearls and kind of keep it contained into that stamped image. So I'm just gonna open some of these colors, and I'm gonna just use a water brush, just kind of clean it off. And then you can just go ahead and with the water brush color in your image. So I just wanted to show you guys how, and I'm kind of using my lid as a little palette right now. Nope, that wasn't embossed that good. I tell you, it is hard to emboss on camera. I'm always afraid I'm gonna burn myself. Oops, that's what you don't want to do. Let's put some of that back in. And you can use a little palette and pour these into a little palette. Yes, they, the perfect pearls will last a long time. They don't really, they're just powder, so they don't really go bad. And I think it's one of those products that people kind of forget they have in their craft room, and then they kind of go back to them. But this is great for card making, this technique. And I really get an F for embossing today. Failing myself on that top part there. Once they're wet, like in my lid, so what I would do is I would probably dump this out and put it back on, or make sure the lid is dry, because you don't want them to get like clumpy. And your best bet is to probably just dump them out on, this is like way too much, but I had a spill, on your silicone mat right here, and then just go and pick it up from there. But I would definitely like dry my lid with just a paper towel before putting it back on. Okay, so you can kind of see how this is popping on that black. If they get lumpy or moist, add a grain of rice to absorb the moisture. Oh, that's a great tip. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish coloring these. This is very relaxing. And the water brush just makes it easy because you don't have to mix your own water, but you can use a regular paintbrush as well. You've made sprays with yours by putting them in a mini mister. That is a good idea. We actually used to have Perfect Pearl mists, and it was a similar product. Okay, so I'm just gonna tap a little out there. Let's do the stem real quick. Yeah, really get an F for embossing today. I'm a messy crafter. I'm not a neat crafter. Okay, and then I want to go in with a darker color. We have cappuccino. Cover up that part that I think I burnt. So there's not much, you can see, I don't know if you can see here, how when I paint over the center, it's really like resisting because there's a lot of embossing in that area. But it just kind of fills in those spaces. All right, so that's just the general idea. Do not judge the embossing, but you can see on white it does work very nicely, and actually I really like it on the white, and then on the black is just that punch of color. You really get the metallic. And since we painted these with water, you would not need to spray them at all. You could just put them aside to dry and then go ahead and make your card with them. Okay, so just catching up on comments. Okay, I'm gonna just put these away. And then the last technique that I'm going to do, oh yeah, I got it lifting. Yep. Okay, so very last technique that I'm going to do is a lifting technique. This technique has been around for a long time, where we've done it before, where you paint a background with the perfect pearls and lift off a stamped image. I'm going to show you a little bit of a modified version of that. I actually saw the Jennifer McGuire do it in one of her Perfect Pearls videos, and I'll go ahead and put that video in the top corner so you can see the video that I'm referring to. And she does the lifting off technique with layered stamps, so I thought I'd show you that today. I think it's a great technique, and I will link her video in the comments below after the live feed is over. But you can see in the top corner there, that is her video where she does our lifting technique using layered stamps, and I think it just is a beautiful technique for card making. So I'm going to go ahead, and for this I'm actually going to use, that was my practice one. I'm going to use gray cardstock. This is Letter It Gray, and see, messy crafter, look at my hands. I'm going to just clean my hands so I don't make a even bigger mess. You're going to pull them out and play. Yes, definitely take them out of your craft room drawer. They are amazing. They're so much fun. So many colors to choose from. And they are just a great crafting staple. And so many ways to use them. Easy, and they're easy to use too. Nothing too difficult. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, and for this technique, I'm going to use, this is a stamp set from Wendy Vecchi Stamp, Stencil, and Die Set. I don't remember the name. Again, I will link all the products below, but I'm using this because this is a layering stamp set, and this technique works really well with layering stamps. Hey Simon, thanks for tuning in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, mount my stamp, and I'm using the first layer here, which is the solid color, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my perfect medium again and just ink my stamp well. Okay, and I'm going to stamp this on my gray cardstock. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with my fluffy brush, and for this I'm going to use Perfect Pearl, which is just a true white pearl. Got a little on the brush there, and just apply the white pearl to my flower. And then let me get, actually I would get a scrap paper, but I don't want to just do that. Brush off any excess very lightly, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go in, actually first what I'm going to do is I'm going to, this is the center, this is the center of the flower here, so I'm actually going to stamp that first, doing the same exact thing. Ink this up. And then you're just going to line this up. A little off there. That's okay. And then you can pick a color for your center. I'm going to do Sunflower Sparkle for my center. I've got a lot, so I don't want, actually, I wish I had another. Okay, what I would do is I would do a fine brush, and not this one, but this one's wet. So I'm just gonna wing it by, so you would want to get just like a fine brush on there so you don't, so you just get your center covered. So that's pretty good. So you can see that right there. And then you're gonna go into your detail stamp, which is your next layer. This is Letter It gray cardstock. It's available in our Letter It line. It is a nice shade of gray. Okay, and then we're gonna get our stamping block. And for this, we are going to ink it with our Perfect Medium. And what the Perfect Medium is gonna do is gonna pull off some of those pearls that are already down. So it's a lifting technique. So you're gonna line your stamp up. Probably see the top of my head. You're gonna stamp it in and then lift it up. So you can see where the stamped image, it lifted off right onto your stamp, the pearls, this way, and you can see that image. So you have your nice perfect pearl with your stamped image. Love the gray cardstock. Since they are sticky with water, how do you recommend cleaning up? They clean up with water. If they get dry, you can take a craft scraper and just scrape off your craft sheet or your silicone mat. The silicone mat cleans up really well just underwater in the sink. But I've never had a problem with them sticking to something so much I couldn't clean it off. Okay, so then I'm gonna just do, we'll just do like 1 or 2 more images so you can see this technique again, because I just think it's so cool. And it's a really fun technique that I don't think, you know, the lifting technique has been around, but I think this is just a really nice technique to use for card making. Well, for anything really, but I'm gonna go ahead, do the same thing with the leaves. So Perfect Medium first. Find a place for your leaves. Just put mine right here. Dust some. I'll use the Zinnia, which is one of the new colors. Can you clean with baby wipes? Yes, you can clean it up with baby wipes. If like this is pretty like dried on there, so I'm probably going to take a Rub It, Scrub It or a craft scraper and just clean that up better. But if it's just loose powder or still wet, it'll come off really easy with baby wipes or cloth with water. Okay, so I'm just putting on the green. Okay, would you be able to, yes, so you can transfer it. If there is enough ink on there, you can transfer it onto a secondary image. And maybe I'll do that to show you guys how that works. I think that works best with a little bit larger stamps, but you can do that technique. Okay, so I'm just dusting off the excess. So we have our green leaves there, and then we're gonna go in with our detailed. Okay, same thing, Perfect Medium. Here's the detail of the leaves. Line it up. And lift off. So you can see there how it lifted the stamp design. And then let's see if we can transfer it. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna go on white just so we can really see. So there wasn't a lot of ink, so you couldn't really, I think because these stamps are very detailed, but if you had more of a larger surface area stamp, like a background, you'd be able to then transfer it, transfer the pearls over. But because this stamp is so fine detailed, like not a lot of pearls are being picked up. So that is my lift off technique with perfect pearls. And then do you have to mist the image? Yes. So then once you're done stamping, I would then use the same spray method, just misting it with the water very lightly, and then there you have your perfect pearls lift off image. Works great with layering stamps. Likewise, you could just put perfect pearls on the background and then just lift off any stamped image. So if you wanted to do a pearl background and then lift off a background stamp, you can certainly do that. So those are my 5 techniques using liquid pearls. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera back around so you guys can see something other than my mess. Yes, the detail of the lift method works really well. It's surprising how much detail you do get by lifting that off, and that is all using the perfect medium. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. Again, please feel free to share it. If you shared it, comment below and you will be entered into our raffle to receive a prize. I hope that this video inspires you to pull out your perfect pearls if you already have them and play around and try some new techniques. If you don't have them, we do have 4 new colors available. Go ahead and grab yourself a set of liquid pearls and have fun. Thank you all again for tuning in. I will post this video, and if you didn't watch the whole thing, you didn't see the beginning, you can catch the replay. We will be doing these live videos regularly, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you all for tuning in.